Good evening, followers, and welcome to a Townsville Stormwatch and surrounding districts cyclone watch here on the 28th of January 2014. At the moment, we are currently watching a tropical low out in the Coral Sea, which is predicted to form into a Category 1 cyclone and perhaps make landfall somewhere between Cairns and Innisfail at this stage. So let's have a look at what's happening at the moment. So here we have the latest satellite imagery brought to you by weatherzone.com.au, and as you can see, there is a lot of convection happening out here in the Coral Sea, so a lot of hot air actually rising up into the atmosphere, and there is just the slight hint of a little bit of rotation happening around in this area here, and we've got a lot of clouds streaming out here sort of just north of Cairns and across the top end of Queensland. The cloud here not quite reaching over Townsville at the moment, but as this cyclone continues to track towards the coast, then there will be more and more cloud increasing as that arrives. So the Bureau of Meteorology, as of 2:30 this afternoon, Tuesday the 28th of January, has put that at 9 a.m. the tropical low was situated in the northern Coral Sea, approximately 870 kilometres east-northeast of Cairns, and moving southwest at around 10 kilometres per hour. The tropical low is expected to move in a general westward directions over the next couple of days, and it may develop further as it approaches the Queensland east coast. So the likelihood of a tropical cyclone in the eastern region: on Wednesday there is a moderate chance, Thursday there is a high chance, so that is over 50%, and on Friday they go back to a low chance, which is between 5 and 20%. On this GFS model, we can see where a lot of the moisture is associated with this system. And at the moment we can see that there's there's little blips and blobs sort of to the east and southeast of the system, with a little bit of moisture also here to its western edge. But as we continue to go through until Wednesday night, we can see that a lot of moisture is now starting to wrap in around the western edge and down here towards the southeast area. And about Thursday, again, a lot of the moisture still to its south and to its north as well. And here on Thursday at 9 o'clock we can see that a lot of moisture is pushing inland here, and there's also a bit of a, I guess you'd call it a feeder band coming in through onto its southern side of this system. So a lot of moisture could be felt here at the on the western side of it. We're looking at between up to an inch of rain here to its western side, and also the same kind of amounts, maybe a little bit less there in that feeder band. So still, let's continue having a bit more of a look at what happens to this system. We now have a look here into Friday morning, and again that system continues to go in that west to southwest sort of direction, and then here by Saturday it's pretty much all washed out, and that's the end of that system. Now, if we have a look here at the GFS model and the winds associated with this system, we can see that here near Cairns, just to the north of Cairns, there is this southwesterly surge coming up the coast. It's been squeezed in between a high pressure system that sits down to the southeast of the continent and this developing low pressure system in the Coral Sea. If we move this now into Wednesday at 9 o'clock, that's 9 o'clock PM, we can see that there is some very strong gale force winds here to its northeast, and also there are some quite strong winds here to its southwest as well. So these winds, they're starting to wrap around this system, not quite tight enough yet to be called a tropical cyclone, as it is still quite elongated in this area. So if we then go on through until Thursday morning, and at Thursday morning 3 a.m. Queensland time, we can see that it is starting to get that bit of a rotational structure happening. We have these very, very strong gale force winds here to its eastern side. We've got these winds up here around in the Townsville area. Quite strong winds just off the coast there, but still they are there. And these are the winds that we're talking about here. And yeah, as you can see, there is a bit of a circular motion happening here with the system. So now if we come through until Friday morning, we can see that by Friday at about 3 o'clock, in the morning, we can see that the system has made landfall and is down now here near the Townsville area. The winds have dropped off quite dramatically to its north and to its east. And if we just zoom out just a little bit, we can show you that the winds here to its south, they're not anything real strong, but you know, there is still a bit of gale force type winds happening there to its southwestern side. There's still a fair bit of wind here off the coast from this system, but most of its ferocity has gone. So if we come back here now, let's say to Thursday morning, and we'll just track this because this will give us a bit of an approximate time as to when this system could possibly cross the coast. So keep going here, and on Thursday about 9 o'clock in the evening, we can see that this system is just off the coast here, just to the north there of Townsville, with these very strong gale force winds there just off the coast there. So it'd be very, very interesting to see whether this continues to be a tropical cyclone when it hits the coast, or whether it just washes out into a very deep rain depression at this stage. So interesting times ahead. We're taking now a look at the rainfall maps for the next 8 days, and we can see that tomorrow, we'll just change this to tomorrow. I didn't do that. We can see that there is some shower activity down here on the central coast, going all the way up through to the northern tip of Queensland. Of course, the monsoon trough is still just raging through this area here. It's eased off a little bit over in the northern Kimberley areas, but is still just raging right through northern Queensland and the Gulf area and the northern tops of the Northern Territory. If we have a look into Thursday, we can see that this tropical low or cyclone, whatever it may be, at that stage, a lot of rain associated with that just there on the north tropical coast there of Queensland, with falls or quite large falls being experienced right down here into about the central coast of Queensland. The falls continue. These guys up here in northern Queensland are just getting an absolute bucket load of rain, which is great news for them. It has eased a little there in the Gulf and the eastern Northern Territory. Over here in Western Australia, though, there seems to be some more rainfall happening in there as well. Having a look at Friday, we can see that the rain associated with that tropical low has now spread out a little bit more. It's moved a bit further southwards and is sort of going down the coast there a little bit more, just right there on the edge there of the central coast of Queensland. There is still around about 150 to 200 mils, so that is still quite a lot of rain for that area, but it is slowly it certainly is slowly starting to ease off. So in the 4 days up to the 31st of January 2014, we can see that there is going to be an absolute bucket load of rain here on the north coast or north tropical coast of Queensland, right down here into probably the northern part of the central coast of Queensland, associated with this this low pressure system that's coming in from the Coral Sea. Up here in northern Queensland, they continue to get some good rainfall there, and they would certainly be enjoying that, with the chance of some showers down here in the central Queensland and western Queensland. The farmers will be very happy to hear about that one. Through from the 1st to the 4th of February 2014, we can see that there's there's a fair bit of rainfall happening here right down the coast to about we would say Rockhampton, or that sort of area, all the way up the northern coast of Queensland. The central interior of Queensland and western Queensland certainly getting a bit of rainfall there as well, and it's looking very good for them. We're getting increased rainfall up here in the Gulf area and on the western coast of the Gulf of Carpentaria, so good news for them as well. So we have a look at the 8-day forecast right through till the 4th of February. And as you can see, very good rainfall here from the central coast of Queensland up until about the north tropical coast of Queensland. Not penetrating too far in, but still there is some rainfall here in the central Queensland districts, with it lessening off as we go further and further into western Queensland. But the key there is that these guys are going to be getting some rain after all, and we just hope that it's enough to break the drought that's out there at the moment. Up here on the up the tip of North Queensland, we can see that there is still some very good rainfall happening up there, with rainfalls between 300 to 400 millimeters of rain over the next 8 days. That's a phenomenal amount of rain for them guys, and I dare say they would be enjoying every single drop of that. So just to have a look now very quickly at the wind shear conditions that will be associated with this tropical low. And here we can see some red and purplish areas. Now that kind of conditions up there is absolutely ripe for cyclone development. So if this cyclone can stay in this area here, then very, very good chance that it can develop into a tropical cyclone. If we come a bit closer though, we can see that if this cyclone does track in a southwesterly direction and gets down here into this dark blue, light blue, greeny yellow sort of color, those conditions we've got, well, between 36 to 38 knots of wind shear, which is not ideal for cyclone development at all. So if this cyclone travels in a westerly direction, then it's got a very, very good chance of remaining as a tropical cyclone and maybe even further developing into a Cat 2 cyclone. But if it heads down here in this southwesterly direction, which is what the bomb is suggesting, then it's going to encounter some very unfavourable wind shear conditions. Now, if we have a look at the moisture content that is around at the moment for this system, we can see that where the system is right at this very particular point in time, around in this area here, there is a lot of moisture there, which is great news for this cyclone. As we do head towards the south, we can see that there is this dry air down here that sort of is coming up the coast. Now, at the moment, this dry air here is not going to affect this system at all, as it remains out here. As it travels to in this southwest or westerly direction, we can see that this air here does not really affect this system at all. So relative humidity in the air is quite good for this system. If we have a look now here at the sea surface temperatures where this cyclone is at the moment, and conditions are just absolutely ideal here for this cyclone. Very warm sea surface temperatures indeed all around it. So there you go, folks. That's the Townsville Storm Watch and surrounding districts cyclone watch, and as we said before, it's not actually a cyclone as of yet. Looks like it could develop into a cyclone sometime on Thursday. We'll certainly be keeping you guys up to date with all the developments on this cyclone, but we do urge that for any official advice on this cyclone to please visit the Bureau of Meteorology's website, www.bom.gov.au. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow night.